Now, I leave it to Tazeen. Tazeen is here. Tazeen is our nutritionist. She works from Body Lift Center. So happy to have Tazeen here.
Have a lot of questions regarding doubt and regarding weight loss and what your part. That is the main reason that you participated here. So I would just like to cover up on smoothies, which are really popular today. So first things first, we need to know why. Since this is your only mission this month, this whole weight loss challenge, it's based on just losing your weight. So you need to be as careful as possible when you're consuming foods, so that you actually obtain the results that you're expecting. To keep it short, I'm just going to start about what is first. Before starting about what the smoothies are for and how you can consume them on a regular basis, I think we should just start with what is dieting and what is a balanced diet. So we've heard these days we're just hearing a lot about all of these fad diets where keto is popular and so many other, let's say paleo, everything. There's just so many you're altering whatever that's happening. That you're taking in an everyday meal. So your regular diet might be balanced, might not be balanced. This would just be let's say a stepping stone into looking what your diet looks like. I hope everyone can see the presentation. This picture you can actually see how there's this. I've just given an example where this side we have how a meal of a person who's dieting looks like, who thinks he is dieting on the right track looks like, and on the other side we have this balanced eating. So in both cases, you see the morning breakfast would be egg whites and veggies, and everything it's almost same. It's only egg whites and veggies where you get only minimal amount of protein and then some vitamins. But on the next case, we have cereals for your energy. So this provides you with sufficient energy. So like that, we have for mid-morning, we have black coffee here, then we have milk coffee, so that you get protein even from the milk. So this is how balanced eating looks like. And at the end of the dieting part, you see that the person tends to binge on the entire for the rest of the day, just to make up, because he is not content with what he has consumed the entire day. And when you look at balanced eating, there's no need for that to happen. That is why every time you're dieting, the quantity is the major what do you call it? The quantity is the major aim here. So you have to just restrict on the quantity and not the quality of your food. So it's always better to stick to what your dietitian has prescribed, especially when you're focusing on weight loss, and never stress yourself. Can we have the next slide? Yes. So these are the do's and don'ts of your dieting process. So first thing is these are all like hacks that you can follow. It's pretty easy. So every meal, like in the breakfast, in your lunch, and in your dinner, you can always add half plate of vegetables. So that in that way you reduce your intake of your cereals and that is your carbohydrates and your proteins. Though proteins will be provided even by the vegetables, so we have to look into it that it's fulfilled, your daily requirements are fulfilled. So you start by eating half plate of vegetables every day in every meal. So that will be pulling, you'll feel satiated. So next is drink lots of water between meals, and by between meals, it means you have to keep drinking water I think I mentioned it even last time in the last WLC. So even this time I have to stress on it that you have to drink water every 1.5 hours, like just 1 glass of water at least throughout the day, that is. And you have to drink water between eating so that you consume very less. So next is, it's obvious, you have to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours. And then, of course, like Vijay sir already mentioned, you have to exercise with all the specifics. And yes, you should be avoiding hydrogenated fat, and hydrogenated fat is just your ghee and normal oils. So you can use nut-based oils where it is coconut oil and cold-pressed oils as such. So you can use coconut oil in cold-pressed form. You can use olive oil, and you can use mustard oil. It's very rich in high fat, so you can use that. And coming to the don'ts, don't over-exercise. So that would be the first thing. So whatever your physician, the physiotherapist has mentioned, please do follow that. And do not ever stress about your eating pattern. Like I said, you just start off very gradually and let your body do the work. Please don't stress. And again, don't sleep late and don't count calories too much. So that is your dietitian's work. So I think they'll take care of it. And also, cheat meal is something that you're completely supposed to avoid, because that is not going to help. You will be losing all of the effort that you put through the entire week if you binge on a Sunday. So it's always better to have a little bit of everything, and not just restricting yourself from all of it. And next slide, please. Oh. Okay. So coming to detox smoothie cleanse. So while you're on a weight loss challenge, it's always better to stick to these kind of cleansing diets. But all these diets, to remind you again, you should only be following all of this diet only for a very short period of time. So that would be for this smoothie, and this like smoothie cleanse should be done only in certain periods. So we'll come to that next. But to mention the pros of detox smoothie, as you can see, it's like it fills your body with all of the nutrients because we're using a lot of vegetables, and then you have reduced, you won't feel like taking more sugars and processed foods because you're already full by what you're eating. And then next is obviously weight loss. You lose your water weight, then your fat gets metabolized. A lot of that happens. And then because of a lot of fruits and vegetable consumption, your constipation will also be relieved. So also when you start eating this way, when you start infusing all of this in a smoothie, you actually kickstart your healthy habits, like in your food. So your healthy diet starts with whatever easy and interesting forms you can. So smoothie is one of those interesting forms that you can include vegetables and fruits. So cons of these detox smoothie is actually based on why you shouldn't be consuming this for a very long time. First is it will cause a lot of tiredness, and that is because it is not enough for the it does not have enough energy and proteins for the entire day. So you should be following it only for 3 to 4 days, and you'll have other gastrointestinal problems and everything. So this might lead to more constipation and everything. Next slide. Okay. So this is the I'm just going to give you a little recipe of all of these smoothies. And the first thing will be, this is a nil fat smoothie because it has zero fat. Basically a lot of smoothies have zero fat. So this is important because it has, benefits of like cleansing your liver. And when your liver is cleansed, that's when it's actually a proper detox for your body, because your liver is doing all the work of detoxifying your entire body. So this is for your liver, and of course it metabolizes fat because of the lemon, cucumber, and pineapples and everything. So yogurt is for your stomach and good bacteria. Next. Yes. This is called a glow booster because it's really, really good for your skin, and your skin is as important as any other organ in your body. So as you can see, there's a all of these recipes, I mean, all of these ingredients are all very common and easily available. It might look like a lot, but it's very, very useful. So you can have all of this every day. Actually, you can have this one every day. And this can be consumed mostly in the evening times, so that it helps your digestion as well, and it takes some time to assimilate in your body. Next one. Yes, this is called a detox intensifier because it does the same job of the first smoothie that I showed. This is just another variation of it. Here you just add green apples and stuff that you want to like make it more tasty about. But this has more vitamins than the first one. So if you're looking for something, this is also useful for the kidney, so that your kidney is not stressed. And next one. Okay. Sunshine smoothie. I don't think this is very common because we are used to drinking lemonade all the time. But this, we add yogurt. You can use it. You can just drink lemonade, but then this addition of yogurt will give you the satiety. That is your fullingness of your hunger. So your hunger is just satisfied because you have this. So try to use this. This is a very delicious smoothie, and this is very, very good because lemons usually metabolize fat, and they provide a lot of vitamin C. So you get everything. And next one. So this is called an organ saver, and I just named it stem cell smoothie because first things first, it is really good for every single organ of yours. This just does the entire job. But if you all of the except for the bananas, like if you're diabetic, I might suggest that. I mean, I would suggest that you exclude banana and add more of milk and just, I mean, low fat milk and curd as such. So all of these nuts, they help with the vitamin E, D and everything, and this will cleanse. This is very good for your heart especially. So which means you will have a great amount of blood circulation and you will not feel as tired. So you can mostly have this in between, during your lunch time. So that you feel more full, like you had an entire meal. So that's how it happens. Next one. This is a mortar smoothie because this is very good for your limbs and your eyesight. We have papayas and oranges, and mango is rich in vitamin A, which is required by the eye and your brain, of course. So if you're still getting mangoes everywhere, please do try to use it. If not, you can still stick to just carrots instead of mangoes. And you can also go for avocados if you want the creaminess of the whole smoothie, and it will provide a lot of good fats like omega-6 and omega-3 and all of that. Next, if we have any next. Okay, this is a very known smoothie. For this is, first of all, we always had this ever since we were all children, and this is a very traditional smoothie. This is culturally very close to us, of course, because Indians have been consuming this for a very long time. So I think this is, you know, much more common and more reliable as well. So this will improve your immunity because it has turmeric in it. It's got ginger in it. Everything we add ginger, yes, but here again, for this season, I think it's best you drink this every day. Even if you're not on a smoothie cleanse, you can still have this every day just with milk and without the mangoes or the, so it would be golden milk instead of golden smoothie. That's all that it does. And you can have it in the night before you go to bed, like 1 hour or 2 hours before you go to bed. Okay, so this was all about the smoothies, and if anyone wants to pitch in anything, I'm here to help.
Okay, what if you're not having milk and milk products? There's a question for you
Okay.
from
Yes.
Sujata ma'am.
So, yes. Hello, Sujata ma'am. How are you? I hope you're safe and healthy. And so speaking, for your question, if you're not having milk and milk products, anything as such, you can still have nut milk. And if you don't prefer milk, I suggest you just use only the vegetables and fruits with some ice in that case. But otherwise, nut milk is always a healthier option, of course, except soy milk. Please don't use a lot of soy milk. You're welcome.
Good, because there's a lot of people are vegans, turning vegans, right? So they're not having milk or milk products as well. So like you said, an almond milk will be a better option. Like you suggested, it's a good thing.
We have oat milk. We have milk made out of we even have cashew milk, but it's a lot of fat. So it's better to also avoid cashew milk at this point.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of talk about this good yeast and good bacteria for the stomach, right? So what do you call that? Good gut microbiota. Gut microbiota. Yeah,
Yes.
so there's a question for you, which is how much curd is permitted in a day? This is from Raji, madam.
Hello, Raji ma'am. How are you? So curd is generally it just has protein and all of these probiotics like sir mentioned. So curd, if you're taking, I would suggest just 20 grams. But since if you're getting all this packed curd, now we have like, you can use Greek yogurt. It doesn't have a lot of fat as such. So in that case, I think right now you can avoid curd and stick to just Greek yogurt. But if you're adding it in your smoothies, no issues. You can still use curd, and it can be like half a cup, maybe half a cup of a normal 200 ml cup.
Okay, good. So for example, if somebody is not having a smoothie and they just want to have a yogurt or just want to have a curd, what is the quantity you will suggest?
75 ml as such. I don't think they should go more than that, especially when they're adults. Between 30s to 40s or even above that, they shouldn't be going more than that.
Good.
Because that will provide approximately 13 grams of protein at least. And then it will have around 90 kilocalories, 90 to 100 kilocalories, somewhere around that.
Okay, what is your take on intermittent fasting? Because that seemed to be the in thing now.
So it depends highly on individuals and how that works. And we have different types of intermittent fasting. And so the first thing is the most common intermittent fasting is the 16-8 method. That is, you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours. And that, I think it's much more reliable as such. But if you're diabetic, if you have other morbidity issues, so you might as well stick to 14 hours to 12 hours of dieting, which is very useful. I think we mentioned it even in the last.
Okay, good. Like you said, even if you eat twice in a day, what matters is how much calories you consume, right? It's about the total amount of calories you consume through the day. You can have 5 mini meals and consume the same calories. You can still have 2 major meals and consume the same amount of calories. So
Yes.
it's the amount of calories that you consume per day that matters. Okay, there is a question for you from Dr. Senthil Adiban. He wants to know what is the difference between yogurt, a plain yogurt, and a Greek yogurt.
Like I said, Greek yogurt has a lot more yeast, and it is less in fat than our normal milk yogurt.
So how is it prepared? Can you tell us how Greek yogurt can be prepared?
I'm not fully aware of the process, but yes, if you're doing it in your home, I think how many nuts a day? Okay. Am I supposed to complete that question?
nuts, I think, about nuts. I hope you answered that.
I'm not able to see the question.
Okay. So how many nuts a day is the question?
How many nuts as in the grams or what variety?
Portion size, or if it's a mixed nuts also, what is that you'll suggest?
Let's say in portion sizes, it would be I think in every smoothies I mentioned 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. So which would be like 1 tablespoon as such, it would be 20 grams as such, 15 to 20 grams. So you can use, if you're using mixed nuts, it would be best if you stick to 2 tablespoons. Otherwise, if you're eating a snack, you can use like 5 to 6 almonds.
Can you come again, Tazeen? How many numbers you said?
I said 5 to 6 almonds and then another 4 walnuts. If you're eating it mixed. Otherwise, you can take 10 almonds as such.
So you can mix it. Total volume you're giving is about 10 numbers, right? So you can either mix it with 6 plus 4, or you take. Okay.
It depends.
So there's another question for you is, would a juice cleanse without any milk or yogurt produce the same results as a smoothie cleanse? Would a juice be sufficient, or you recommend a smoothie? This from Hannah. Okay.
So the difference, like I said, the only difference is that you won't be getting enough proteins. So if you're on a cleanse, you are definitely going to feel, if you're staying, right now we're all quarantined. So if you're not going out and if you can manage through the day and if you're on a cleanse, just a juice cleanse, that's not a problem. But if you're going to do it when you're going out, when you're going to work, it's better to add curd, yogurt or anything as such, milk or yogurt, because that's what will provide you with a lot of more energy and proteins as such. Otherwise, you have to eat lots of nuts and at least let's say at least 100 grams of protein a day, which will also provide you with enough calories if you're doing a juice cleanse. So those dals won't do anything.
So in terms of cleansing, what do you think? A smoothie or a juice? You think you seem to say that a smoothie has a better nutritive value, a better antioxidant. Is that what you're trying to tell?
I would side with smoothie cleanse because it's very balanced comparatively to a juice cleanse.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The next question for you is from Dana Kotishwaran. So he wants to know, can the skim milk be consumed instead of regular milk? That is, you take off the layer and then have it?
Skimmed milk, if you are having skimmed milk is nothing but just free of fat. So which means it's the best choice if you're looking for weight loss.
Okay. So skim milk is better. So removing the layer is better.
In case of weight loss, yes. If they lack protein and if they have other issues, then we better stick to low fat milk than skimmed milk as such. Okay. Just normal milk with low fat percentage. That's it.
Yeah. Good, thank you. Participants will be logging off in another 3 minutes because the Zoom time will be out. But please re-log in. We have some more questions to be answered. Okay, the next question for you is, many people say eating fruits and vegetables as whole is better than juice or smoothie. What is your take on that?
Okay, that is because eating more fruits as such than as drinking it as juice is because the sugar content varies, which means the juice will have more sugar because all of the fructose seems to break down when you're breaking down the fruits. When you're grinding the fruits, all of these fructose release. So that's why you're supposed to take more fruits. But I think in case of smoothies and everything, we're adding very little quantities as together in one form. So if you're drinking like that, it's not a big deal. We have the other nutrients to compensate. So the insulin activity will not, you won't be very sensitive to insulin like that.
Okay, now that it's COVID time, so what are the immune boosting recipes or immune boosting foods you will suggest?
Okay. So like I said, that golden milk, that is a very staple in almost every, even an illiterate person from India would use that because it is very, very common here. And yeah, and one more thing is that you can add more cinnamon and what is that? I think lavang. You can use cloves. You can use cloves, cinnamon. You can use um, curry. Curry leaves also play a part in immunity. Recent researchers say that. So you can add that, and obviously citrus fruits provide a lot of immunity. So vitamin C rich foods give you a lot of immunity.
So golden smoothie is the smoothie to go for immunity, correct? That's what you're saying. Sleep, do you recommend?
Obviously, but not sleeping during the day, of course. Now that we have more time, I don't think even then sleeping during the day is very beneficial. So since we left on immunity, I would also like to very specifically mention that please do take your greens every day. Do not miss on anything. Please take spinach, just not spinach as such. Take moringa. Take if you're not getting moringa, stick to fenugreek. I've mentioned it even.
Drumstick is what you meant? Drumstick?
Yes.
Because your moringa was some new vegetable, so most of us couldn't realize it. Okay, is the drumstick? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so drumstick leaves I meant. So they're calling it moringa leaves now. So that, and obviously fenugreek leaves, we have amaranth leaves. Yes, drumstick leaves, Radhima. And we have a lot more green varieties. You can add French beans, and more than French beans, you can add just normal beans, you can add peas, all of this, but just take your green so that you get enough chlorophyll to fight your antibodies.
Yeah. Okay, there's another question for you. Can you throw some light on GM diet or keto diet? I know it's a fad diet, but what is your thought on it? This is from Aishwarya.
Okay. Hi Aishwarya. So because this is the fad diet, I don't usually find these fad diets attractive, and I never ever recommend them to anyone because we tend to suggest that for a very short period. Like I said, the smoothie cleanse, I think I mentioned it in the presentation that it has to be done on a seasonal basis. So every time you start a season, you just kickstart your healthy habits. That's just how these fad diets work according to me. And because I want to stick to both traditional and the diets of today, I think we should be combining both and do not ever just stick to GM diet. GM diet is nothing but just taking a lot of, just reducing your calorie intake. It would be like 40 to 50 grams of 50 kilocalories per dish per meal and all of that. It's that I don't think you should stick to that for a very long time. And keto is basically a lot of fat. So it'll look like you're losing fat. And I've seen so many people who lose 15 kgs in a month and because of following these keto diets, and then they regain really quickly. So, and your fat is still in the body. It's the water weight that you lose. So please do not stick to it for a very long time. The maximum is a week that you can do all of this.
Yeah, just a question from my personal side. So when you mentioned GM diet, it's about taking fruits and vegetables one day, taking fruits one day. So consuming less than 1,000 calories or just about 1,000 calories a day. Like you said, it might be harmful because they may not get all the nutrients that is needed for our body to function effectively. So that I can understand for weight loss. But how does this keto diet work? Because it is fat is high calories, right? So how does it? Yes. How do people lose weight with keto?
How do people lose weight with keto? Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think I already mentioned, sir, like about this keto diet, they lose weight, and whatever weight they lose, it's just their water weight and not their muscles are obviously just losing all of their moisture, in which case your fat is going to get accumulated in all of these cells. So wherever water is required, now you're just filling the spot by just adding fat. So you will lose weight. consuming a lot of calories when you're consuming fats, and all of the foods that you're consuming in ketos, like you can eat red meat and all of that, and I mean, even for fat, like you can eat there's just so many varieties. They eat fish. I've seen people saying I only eat fish, but then I lost weight and then it stopped, and then they were so surprised to know that it has a lot of fat. So you're just accumulating fat in your body. So do not ever follow that for a very prolonged time.
Okay. So the question, moving away from smoothies. So what else you will recommend? What kind of a diet? What else you can eat? This from Nina ma'am. Ma'am, can you come in and explain your question? Because what else can you eat means like, what do you mean? Like a snack or like a regular meal?
Hi, okay, Vijay. Hi, Tazeen. That was very, very nice. And those smoothies look extremely attractive.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And I can almost feel that they're going to also taste very nice. Yeah. But coming back to this, so are we, when you say detox, are we only going to be doing smoothies as a detox for a certain number of days, or we can combine them with the regular meals, and how should we balance it out?
Okay, so smoothie cleanse. So I've mentioned smoothie cleanse. So when it is smoothie cleanse, it is for 2 days together only smoothies. So it will be like 3 to 4 days together only smoothies, which is why I've added yogurts and nuts and everything. But otherwise, you can, after that 3 to 4 days, you can obviously take other foods. Like you can take more of, like I said, sprouts, dals. You can take, even ade is not an issue. Like when you're eating breakfast, I think breakfast should be really, really satisfying whether or not you're on a diet. So if you're eating if you're eating idlis in the morning, add 1 more eggs, and then try not to eat anything after that, and then you can have another smoothie by 11 or 12, and then you can go ahead with your lunch and another smoothie, another small bowl of sprouts. So that would be easy. So you can just mix it up after those 3 to 4 days. So if you're going on a smoothie, so smoothie cleanse and adding your smoothie to your diet is different.
Yeah, thanks. I was just doubtful whether, so we just do a detox and then we get on to a regular way of balanced diet afterwards, adding a few items one by one, right? Yeah, good input.
Thank you.
Know whether, how can you do keto as a vegetarian?
I'm sorry, ma'am, can you repeat that question?
Okay.
Someone's asking if vegetarian,
yes.
And how can you do? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Before that, I'd like to ask Jeff to share his experience about keto, because I know he's followed the keto for some time. I like him to shed some light on keto, because there's a lot of interest in this group about knowing about keto. Jeff, can you come in, please?
Yeah. Hi, Vijay. Hi, Nina. Thank you for coming in this evening. Hi to all our participants, and of course, a big hi to the O2 team. Yeah, it's great to be around. About keto. In the first place, just a small clarification. When you do keto, you're trying to eliminate every other form of food and only consume fat. You are not having any carbohydrates, so that we are trying to change the body system to depend on fat. That is the energy source. We are trying to change the energy source from carbohydrate to fat. So that is why we starve ourselves of carbohydrates and only go on fat, so that after a given point of time, it may take you about 3 or 4 days to go into ketosis. It depends on your metabolism. It depends on each body. Sometimes it takes 5 days for the body to stop depending on carbohydrate and go on to fat as an energy source. So that's what it is. But as many of you know, you cannot maintain this diet for a long time. And you can't just go on eating fat and meat and fat and meat, and you'll go crazy. And I'm sure at one time you'll feel like eating yourself as well, a cannibal. So coming back to what we should be really doing is, I think all of us are trying to say the same thing in very, very different ways and forms. We are talking about a very intelligent, balanced diet and knowing, as Vijay started the session saying, how much input into the body in the form of swallowed calories and how much output from the body in the form of exercise and activity. Now, it's only a scale. It's clearly a scale, input versus output. Now, if you are consuming 2000 calories a day in the form of food, and if you are outputting in the form of activity and workouts, 1500 calories only, you are on a minus of 500 calories. So that is going in as stored energy, which is not being stored as anything else but fat. And fat being very light in weight, fat molecules being very light in weight, you will not know if you're putting on so many molecules of fat, meaning if your fat molecules are being increased in size. You cannot increase the fat molecules in your body. You can only decrease or increase the size of each molecule. So suddenly we find that we cannot get into our genes or whatever. And that is when we find that we put on about 10 or 15 kilos. So my advice personally, after being trying so much of stuff, I think a very balanced diet, and you must visit a dietitian at least once or twice in your life for you to have a table of what to eat and what not to eat and when to eat what. There's no point in consuming a high carbohydrate diet at night when you're going to sleep. You don't need carbs. So your carbs will be loaded in the morning during the day so that it takes you through your activities during the day. So basically, Vijay, this is what I do and this is what I follow. A very balanced diet, and you must know whether to burn 1000 calories a day, burn 400 calories a day, or burn 500 calories a day. Because you know how many calories you've inputted. So you must know and be responsible to output so that your balance and your scale stays if it's on maintenance. If you're trying to take off weight, then it must tilt towards the output. You must output more calories and intake lesser calories. Only then you are on a minus calorie diet. And that is when you hit the fat molecule for sustenance. Like when you work out, we say a typical aerobic routine should be 40 minutes or more. That is because when you are working out for the first 30 minutes, a cardio aerobic routine, which is long duration and low in intensity, anything continuous. Now, when you are doing that, the first 30 minutes, the energy source comes from your muscles. Stored energy in muscles and everything else, the carbohydrates, after which you hit the fat molecule. So unless you continue long duration, after 30 minutes, you go on for the rest, 40 minutes or 1 hour, only those are golden moments. The 31st minute onwards becomes the golden moment when you are hitting your fat molecule for energy source. So just then when you feel tired, if you're going to stop your workout, it's a waste because you've only tapped the carbohydrate, which is stored energy as carbohydrate in your muscles. So to surpass that and hit the fat molecule, you have to be on a long duration, low intensity, which is anything like brisk walking, jogging on the treadmill, even if it is continuously walking in your compound or on your terrace. I hope I've been clear and answered quite a few doubts lingering in your minds. Thank you.
Yes, Jeff, well said, Jeff, well said. I think it was put very simply for people to understand about it. Tazeen, back to you. There is a question about oil. How much oil can we use in this weight loss journey? Do you have a quantity per day?
How about we restrict oil in this weight loss journey, because I think this 1 month is when you actually completely focus on weight loss. We always tend to get distracted. So like I mentioned, it will be very, very useful if you completely restrict it. Otherwise, if you can't avoid oil, if you're using any dishes that include oil, in that case, maybe let's just say 10 grams a day, because on a normal day, a normal adult, an ideal adult should only consume 25 grams of fat a day. So since your fat is also coming from curd and other foods, I think 10 grams should do, approximately.
Yeah. Thank you. It's about 10 ml. That's what you're suggesting.
10 ml, yes.
10 ml per day per person.
Yes.
Okay, and Sujata, to answer your question, keto diet, whether it increases the risk of heart disease, but one thing I definitely know is somebody with very health issues, it is not recommended to follow a fat diet. Fat diet is keto or GM or intermittent fasting. It is not recommended to follow those kind of diet. So like Jeff mentioned, it's a high fat diet. So always there is a risk of, yes, you might see initial weight loss, but in the long run, it may not be a safe option to follow. There's another question for you, Tazeen. It's from, I think from a Vivo phone, but I don't know who it is, if they can specify the name. They want to know, how can a vegetarian follow a keto? Is there any vegetables or
it's very difficult to follow. Vegetables
Yeah.
don't have fat as such. So if you're a vegetarian, you're, I mean, and if you're not a vegan, then you're definitely going to be taking a lot of milk and curd. So that would be your only source of fat and nothing else. The rest of it don't have enough fat to, you know, tally your keto diet. So in keto, you have to consume a lot of fat because it's only based on fat. And if you're a vegetarian, I don't think it's very...
Yeah. Okay, there is a question from Mr. Sanjay. I will ask Neena ma'am to answer this. Madam, can you unmute yourself? It is about tips to weight loss. Facing all the hurdles of this lockdown, working late, sleeping late, sitting for hours. So how do we manage to lose weight?
Actually, going back to Vijay, I don't know how technical this whole thing is, but I can only talk to you from my experience of how I have been living my life. I was just thinking, and I was really feeling happy for myself. I've just turned 16 now, about 2 days back, and I weigh about 62 kilos now. And this is the same weight.
Congratulations, you look awesome.
And this is the same weight which, if I think right, if I know right, this is the same weight that I had when Ritika, my younger daughter, was born, which was 32 years back. So just to say that you feel happy when you can maintain your weight. It's not about losing your weight. It's not about, like, you know, going up and down. Some months you're fat, some months you're not fat, you know, things like that. So this yo-yoing thing, I think, is really damaging for the system. Whenever I go beyond a weight of, say, 3 kilos, I think that is a danger mark for anyone. I think your antenna should go up, and you should be really careful, because after 3 kilos, if you gain that much more, it becomes easier to gain more and more and more. It's going to be very difficult to lose it. Coming back to the question, I think, what was the name of the person who asked that, Vijay? About the lockdown period?
Sanjay, ma'am. Sanjay.
Sanjay, hi Sanjay. Actually, you know, there's no hunger during the lockdown period, because there's very little movement that we are having, isn't it? So actually, this is the best time to lose weight. In fact, so many people around me, I'm seeing them the other day when I saw a couple of my cousins and other thing, my sambandhis, most of them have taken off at least 4 or 5 kilos quite effortlessly. That's because there's no appetite, because movement is less. This is the best time, guys, to lose weight. At the same time, eat sensibly, eat when you're hungry, and definitely eat a couple of meals. Don't starve, because then, you know, you won't be productive at all, even at home. So eat, but eat sensibly, drink lots of water, and sleep, because I don't know when we can sleep again after this lockdown period is over, because I think this is a luxury period for us. Actually, let's really make use of it.
Thank you, ma'am. And that's from your practical, from your, what do you call that? From your experience that you're speaking, it makes a lot of sense. And Sanjay, like ma'am said, try to get in as much as activities as you can. Like it can be every half an hour, just getting up and walking around for a minute, right? So that gives you 2 minutes per hour. And if it's about 8 hours of sitting, you get about 16 minutes of exercise, right? So simple ways like that. So you need to invent yourself. You have to invent time, how you're going to keep it more productive. And instead of sitting, see if you can do a working, you can have a standing workstation. Also another option is, because you're sitting for most of the time for Zoom meeting, it'll be a good option to carry the phone and just walk around when you're doing the Zoom meetings, if that is allowed with your company, right? And like Madam said, because you're not spending much, because we are mostly at home, you're not climbing stairs, you're not going out of the house, you're not even getting into the car, coming out of the car. It's important to control the calories. Yes, we will have hunger pangs, but you need to eat foods that are high in fiber, so they are filling. At the same time, they're not high in calories for you. So you need to smartly plan your nutrition so that you're not consuming high calorie foods and you're consuming more fiber and inventing time during your working hours. Okay, there is another question for you, Tazeen. It's about keto and paleo. Looks like similar. Tazeen, would you like to come?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you for the question. It's a very common question. Everyone tends to always, it's a very common diet. Everyone tends to always confuse. To be honest, it is very similar. And the only difference is in paleo, what they mention is you have more fruits and vegetables as well. So you're taking a lot of, so paleo is nothing but Paleolithic diet, which means in the Paleolithic age, they used to hunt and eat. So they were hunters and gatherers, and there wasn't any farming or anything. So that is why they consumed whatever they got in their hand. So mostly it was meat, but in keto, it's again, it's mostly fat. But those days they didn't have oils as such to, cook and eat all of this. So in keto, you're just adding more of fats. But in paleo, there's less number of fat, but with the same amount of proteins and of course a lot of energy. But other vitamins and minerals would be very, very lacking if you stick to either of these for a long time. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Tazeen, that's a good answer, I think. And thank you, Mohammed, for that question. Right. Participants, okay, Raji has another question for you. Do you suggest protein supplements?
When you have everything at home in the reach of your hands, why reach for something that is, out of your zone? Why even go to that? So if you have everything, we always, from the moment we were children, we always try to reach whatever that's next to us. That's how we even start moving. We learn motor skills. So I think we should still stick to that. So whatever is available to you, make use of it, but don't stick to protein powders because there is a lot of hidden substances in that. So which might not be suitable for your particular body type. It might work for someone, it might not work for somebody else. So if you're very interested in protein powders, you can stick to it. But as dietitians, for our ethics, we usually stick to natural foods, and it's the best way.
Yeah, that's correctly said, Tazeen. Participants, like to tell you, we'll have another session next week. That'll be the last of the nutrition session that we'll be having, because the following week will be our final assessment. We are in the second week of assessment. We have one more nutrition session next week, wherein we can send in all your queries. In between, if you have any queries, feel free to post it in the group, or you can talk to your trainer and they can clarify your doubts. Before we close down, I ask, Jeff, do you have anything to add or delete today in our session?
I think that's fine, Vijay. It was very inclusive. Thank you, Tazeen, for covering the whole thing, the whole aspect, and giving us smoothies. I think was a good alternative. Just
good idea.
Yeah, good idea. So thank you very much, Tazeen, and that's it, Vijay. I think the whole thing was covered very well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Good job, Tazeen. Leena ma'am, what is your thoughts when you would like to add anything?
I'm echoing thoughts also, Vijay. I think it's a fantastic session today. And somehow it's also still summertime. So I think the smoothies are a fantastic way of carrying it forward. They can compensate also for a meal because there's so much going into just one glass. So much of goodness is there. And I love the session today. Thank you, Tazeen. Just keep